Alright, today we are going to analyze Iron Man from the Avengers beta. Basically, going over his abilities and talking about what works and what can be worked on. This is just my thoughts on him from the beta, so things could change at launch or in the future. Now to start, I found Iron Man to be the most fun character to play out of the four to choose from. But I also think he has the most problems, which aren't a lot, but I still want to mention them. So let's get into it. Iron Man's support ability, which I found the best out of the three, is a EMP blast that knocks back anyone in the area and takes away shields from enemies if they have one. I found this to be very useful if I was surrounded and I needed like a second to breathe, or if I wanted to just break shields from a swarm of enemies, then it was great for that. The more I played Iron Man, the more I noticed that he does better at a distance. So diving in to charge up his energy, then flying back out and using his repulsors, his lasers, and his rockets, his support ability is perfect for that. His attack ability is his unibeam, which shoots a continuous beam of energy from his chest. This is great to mow down the grunt type enemies or to peck away at like the tougher guys. Iron Man's ultimate ability is the Hulkbuster, basically making him a lesser Hulk. He's slow moving, but he hits pretty hard. Now, I have a little issue with both of these last two abilities. I felt that the Unibeam should do more damage, especially for it being his attack ability, and for the short amount of time that you actually get to use it. So maybe in the future, like a slight damage buff would be nice. So until that happens, or they bump up the time you can use it, I think it's just a decent ability. And the Hulkbuster is fun. It was fun whenever I first started using it, or the first couple times, but then after a while I started to just skip using it because I just got tired of it. I found that just playing Iron Man and using his other skills were far more enjoyable. The attacks are repetitive, so maybe if they added a unique skill tree to the Hulkbuster where you can do different moves and attacks, then it wouldn't be as bad. I mean, it does good damage and you can take a lot of damage, but I just got tired of using it. Now, Iron Man's character trait, which I don't know what to call it. I haven't seen the name of it or anything or even heard it. So until I figure out what it's actually called, I'm just going to call it a character trait. So his is he builds up energy, which is the yellow bar right below his health, by doing light attacks. And the more energy you have, the more you can use his heavy attacks, which are his repulsors, lasers, and rockets. And they can be switched whenever you want. And each one of them has their own skill trees and combos to go with them. And I think that this is where the gameplay for Iron Man really shines. What I did was I used the repulsors for grunt enemies or enemies that were far away. The lasers were great for whenever I was surrounded, since the animations and the moves, they just all do AoE, and so it was just perfect for multiple enemies. And the rockets I used for the boss fights and the tougher enemies, since they seem to do the most damage, but I also noticed that they use the most energy. But that's what makes Iron Man so good in this game and so fun to play, is that you can use any of these whenever you want, and it can be effective, and most importantly, it's fun. The last thing I want to mention is the movement for the character. Movement is a big thing for me in video games. I want to be able to move exactly how I want to and when I want to. And Iron Man's movement is amazing. Going from fighting on the ground to just moving your camera up and then you just shoot up in the air and start fighting a drone or some dude with a jetpack. It was seamless, and it has a great feel to it. I talked about this in my beta impression. I am in love with the movement of this game, and Iron Man is done perfectly. Like I said in the beginning, I had the most fun with Iron Man. His abilities and attacks are great. Flying around, being able to escape sticky situations and blast people from afar, which also, I think he is the perfect character to take out the turrets that are like on every like base, the little A.I.M bases. Yeah, they have turrets all over the place. And I think Iron Man is perfect to just go in there, take those out, so then the rest of your team can go in there and not have to worry about them. Overall, I think Iron Man is the most versatile character out of the 4 available in the beta, and I thought he was the most fun. But not that the others aren't, it's just, everyone's got to have their favorite. The problems I have with him also are easily fixable, and they also don't really affect how I play with them, or, like, I never was like, oh, I don't want to play Iron Man because I don't like using the Hulkbuster, and I think his Unibeam is meh. I still played with him just because everything else about him is a ton of fun. So, let me know what you guys thought playing as Iron Man, what you liked and didn't like in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.